right, boys and girls, today I'm going to use my blue textured painted paper and my self-portrait where I'm climbing, and we are going to climb a pretend ladder going up to the moon to get our moon, just like in the book. Papa, please get the moon for me. So I've got a ton of interesting supplies today. I've got some circles that I'm going to use to trace. I've got some popsicle sticks. I've got my drawing that I made where I'm climbing. I've got my blue painted paper. I've even got some newspaper today, and I'm going to use some white and black paint sticks or oil pastels. We're making a collage where we're cutting things out and putting them all together. Let's start with the star of the show. Let's make a moon that we're going to be climbing up towards. So let's go ahead and pick a piece of newspaper just so it's more interesting. You could do this with white paper if you don't have newspaper, but I'm going to go ahead and take a circle like my duct tape here and trace a circle using that. You want to have a size that's about medium, so that looks pretty good. Now what you're going to do is you're going to practice using your scissors to cut a circle. Now this can be tricky sometimes, so one thing you can do is cut a square out of your newspaper just so it's easier for you to hold. There we go. Then you can put the rest of your newspaper aside. Now you're going to go ahead and cut, and it's going to be a little bit easier. So when you're cutting a circle, you want to make sure you open up your scissors and you put the paper down at the bottom of that opening. Then you're going to turn your scissors as you squeeze. Squeeze and turn. Squeeze and turn. Squeeze and turn. That's how you cut a nice curved object like a circle. Once you squeeze and turn all the way around, remember, you don't have to be perfect. You are ready to add a little bit of shadow and highlights to your moon. So make sure you choose an area that is mostly just words, because we like the texture of the words on the page. You don't want a side that has maybe pictures on it. We're going to use the back of our paper here as like a messy map, and we're going to use our paint stick or an oil pastel, white and black, to add some highlights and shadows. So the white is going to be the highlight. We're going to put some white on the edge on one side. So we've got one side that's light with some white. Then we'll put the lid back on, and then we'll take a little bit of the black and add a little bit of a shadow on the other side. We don't want too much. In fact, an oil pastel might work better for the black here. You can also use your finger and kind of blend it just so it's not too much, because we don't want to cover up all those really cool words that we have from the newspaper. That's what makes our moon a little bit more interesting. So once you have your shadows and highlights, think about if you would like to add a face. I think I might draw a face with the moon's eyes closed and a nice, happy, calming smile. You can go over your face lines with your paint marker, with your paint stick, or you can go over your lines with a Sharpie, and that way you can see them a little bit better. Now that you got your moon, go ahead and pick a circle, not in the middle, not towards the bottom, but up in the top corner. You want to make sure you have enough room for your ladder so that you're reaching up high to get to the moon on your artwork. Go ahead and find a glue stick or a glue bottle. I'm going to use a glue stick, and rub glue all around the edge of your moon to make sure that your moon is going to stay put. This moon is a very important part of your artwork, so you don't want it to fall off later. Make sure that you turn your paper around and give it a nice little massage, and then put the lid back on your glue. Okay, now for the fun part. We are going to cut out our self-portrait and make a ladder out of popsicle sticks. For this part, you're going to want to use a glue bottle, because the glue stick is not quite enough to get these popsicle sticks to stay put. So go ahead and take out, I would say, like 6 to 10 popsicle sticks, and then lay them out on your paper to see how you might form your ladder. I'm going to start with some vertical shapes. I've got one side of my ladder and then the second side of my ladder, and I've got 6 here that I think is going to make the height that I want my ladder to be. Then I can adjust them as I need to before I glue them down. You don't want to just start gluing. You want to have a plan first. You can also add your horizontal popsicle sticks to make the steps that you climb up to your moon. You could even just do the horizontal lines. You don't have to do the vertical ones, just like this, so that you have like these hovering steps up towards the moon. I think that's kind of fun too. So once you decide how your ladder is going to look, go ahead and lay them out on your paper until you're happy. Then you can flip them over one at a time and put a line of glue. Once you have your line of glue, flip it back over and press it down. Your glue is going to kind of squeeze out of the sides, and that's okay. That means you have enough for it to stick, and that's actually a good thing. Let's go ahead and repeat with all of our vertical popsicle sticks first. Now I'm ready to put down horizontal popsicle sticks that go up my ladder. Now this part's a little trickier because my horizontal popsicle sticks are on top of my vertical ones. I really can only put glue in two spots. I can only put glue on the area where they are touching the other popsicle sticks. So wherever my popsicle sticks are touching, my popsicle stick is touching the other popsicle sticks, I'm going to flip it over and put two pretty big globs of glue just to make sure that these do not fall off later. So I'm going to put all my horizontal pieces down and then flip them over one at a time and add those. You can also take a yellow piece of construction paper to add some stars now. So if you want to, go ahead and cut out your own stars or ask an adult to help you stamp out some stars if you have a star cutter. And then we'll put some glue on the back of all of these stars and press them. As a bonus, I've got these fun confetti stars that I can also use a dab of glue to stick on all over my painting as well. Have fun with it. Design your own starry night the way you will. Last time I drew my self-portrait, I added this thick line of black around the outside, and that is going to make it so much easier for me to cut it out around. I don't have to cut in between each and every finger and every hair. I'm just looking at the shape around the outside and taking my scissors and squeezing around those shapes. To make it even easier for you, you can cut a square around the main areas, and then you can go back in and cut out each individual piece in between those. So I can start by cutting like the right side of myself, then I can put that away and then cut in between my arms and my head. Remember, squeeze and turn whenever you are in an area that is curved. Find the way that is most comfortable for you to move your scissors the way that you need to. So you might start cutting in one direction and then stop and start cutting in a different direction if that is easier for you. This is a great way to practice using your scissors to be a careful Once you take your time and cut out all between your legs, all between your arms and the sides, you are ready to glue yourself down. Are you going to be at the bottom of your ladder starting to make your journey to the top? Are you going to be in the middle of your ladder, or are you going to already be at the top of your ladder reaching up for your moon? It's up to you. But once you decide, it's time to glue your... Let's go ahead and grab our glue bottle one more time to glue our self down. There, that is gorgeous. I think my artwork is finished. I can't wait to see what yours looks like, but here is my self-portrait climbing up a ladder to the moon. This was a tricky one, but I'm sure you did great. And again, if you made mistakes, they became beautiful, happy. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you next time. Love, your cozy.